Hello, everyone. This is Eirik Cruz, your unexplained phenomena consultant, a real life one. We're continuing an episode we did before. This is part two of Mystery Man's episode 30, Scariest Paranormal Encounters Caught by Cops. And when I was on TV, that was my background. I was called on national TV to explain phenomena like this, either on site, we would visit locations, or on studio, and I would have a team of specialists, experts, pretty much psychologists, psychiatrists, botanists, whatever we need, we call on them, and from the universities, and to explain the phenomena we're seeing with salient sciences. I do not. I would rather lean on the sciences because that's the job. I do not do mysticism. I do not do belief systems. So if you want that, it's not this channel. Okay. But explaining these things for you, I do this all the time. I would go to the studio and watch videos, raw footage from them. I was like, Sir Eirik, do you see something here? But if you're forced to see something that it's not really evident, then you're already biased. So I approach things without knowing what I'm approaching. So that's one of the downfalls of paranormal investigations. You do not know, you should not know what you're supposed to investigate in detail, or you would be biased. But then we're digressing. Continuing with Mystery Man, and I will post his link on this YouTube channel. Let's see what we got.
On December 29th, 2020,
well, he looks scared already.
Security guard's routine patrol took a terrifying turn. According
I've
to
always
him,
wanted to do
a
security.
guest had passed away a few months earlier in the hotel, and since then, strange occurrences had begun.
So someone said, "Get out."
I heard a woman talking.
A few nights later, while checking the staircase to ensure it was empty, things escalated.
Hello?
No, I wish I had a voice like his. What do we got here, boys?
Oh my god. What the?
Okay, let's pause this for a little bit.
Footsteps.
So there's probably an intruder here trying to hide, or someone who's done this before, or doing a prank on him and he doesn't even know. Because this video, there are multiple levels on the staircase. So if you hear something, it echoes. So psychoacoustics here. So if I were an investigator doing this case, it's like, it's unexplained. We don't know what's running up the stairs. What I'm telling you is someone might be running on the stairs below what he can see, and it's echoing towards where he is. So the microphone's catching something from the sound that's not visible to him, but it's on the staircase below. So okay, let's continue.
Faint at first, but growing louder as if something was rushing up the stairs. Without waiting to find out what it was, he bolted up.
Let's pause it again, Kyle. Okay, if it's growing louder, it's really psychoacoustics. Because if you hear echoes, it bounces around everywhere, and you don't even know where the source is. He knows it's stairs, because it's making the same sound you would do if you're running up or down the staircase. But where it's coming from, we know it's the stairs, but you don't know which level exactly. It could be one layer below where he can't see. I'm not debunking this right away because I really have to be on site when I do these things. And I have tools, not the electronic ones, because the only electronic tool I have are flashlights. Recording instruments are very finicky. If I had a tape recorder, which I had, non-electronic, but anything with a battery is really unreliable if it's real. So if the manifestation is strong enough, it affects power. So you would see flickering in the videos. You would see the audio cutting out, or there's a lot of things happening on set that we couldn't catch. I've done over 350 episodes, and there are so many things we couldn't catch because the cameras died, or the audio died, or the lights. Happened to me in the side of a mountain. I taunted something. Second episode of the first show I had, and the camera lights died. Like, I have lighting crew, 3 of them, carrying those big boom lights with the boom mics so that they can catch everything I'm doing and I'm seeing. It all died. It was charged. So they couldn't explain it. And the crew ran down the mountain, leaving me there with a little flashlight. So, yes, thank you for that. Anyway, continuing.
Later, while reviewing the footage, he thought he saw something or someone lurking behind the door.
Okay, here you go, guys. Come on. Manifestations are supposed to be semi-translucent. Here's the truth. You see all those old ghost photos in church that cannot be debunked? Those have a 70-80% likelihood of no editing and no manipulation and no fakery. But this guy is solid through the window. You can see the eyes, you can see the nose, you can see the face, but you can see that the light doesn't go through him. There is no glow because even corporeal manifestations are just a representation of someone else's or yourself or your version of yourself. Sometimes you see them as a younger version. Sometimes you see them as an older version. Whatever stage they want to be seen. Or even unconsciously for them, because whatever is surviving there is just a consciousness. It's not a body. So if you see a whole solid body, that's different already. It's more likely a person. So I'm not saying it because I'm not there, but in my case, I would declare this if I were asked to investigate.
Spanish police officer Carl Romero was watching surveillance cameras at the station when he noticed something unusual in the sally port.
First, I thought it was like a polilla, like a fly, a moth. And then I saw the legs and it was a human.
But not a real human.
No, it was just a ghost.
Convinced he had seen a ghost, he reported it to his supervisors who reviewed the footage. The entity seemed to walk
so
toward
blurry.
the old transport cages, passing through the locked area as if the walls were not there.
You can see it walk through. It walks in the direction of the old transport cages, and there's not really any way for it to get out through there, but it seems to walk right through there.
Detectives confirmed it wasn't a lighting issue or camera malfunction. The station, known for its ghost stories, has...
All right. I would really love to visit the station wherever it is. And those things passing by, going through chain link fences, that could be a matter of perspective because the cameras aren't exactly very good. They're infrared, they're night vision. So what you see are silhouettes of how far it can go, how far the infrared light can go, and that's only how far your camera can catch it. So the more infrared lights you have, the easier for the infrared sensors to catch the movement. But this time it's so blurry. I wouldn't say 100% that it's not real, but I would say I'd rather be there, investigate this thing, and ask the people how was the weather? Was it humid that night? Have there been instances of similar supposed artifacts? I'm not saying it's fake, okay? I'm just saying artifacts as a general term. Artifacts on the camera that has attributed to moisture, any biological material, insects or bugs or whatever it is before, and then let's compare it. This is like a comparison. So we try to compare in my investigations. Let's simulate the situation. Let's see what would happen if we did the same thing and recreated the same environment, the same lighting conditions, the same weather. And let's see if we can get the same effects. Let's put someone there to walk through, even from behind the fence. Let's see if we can get that illusion that she or he is walking through the fence. Okay, continuing.
Had reports of eerie sounds and sensations, especially at night.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually. I do believe in ghosts.
Do you think that was a ghost?
I do. I do believe it was something. It's hard to say, but I do believe it was.
Romero, who believes in ghosts, stands by what he saw, describing it as something beyond the ordinary.
All right. I'm talking too much, but that's the part. Anyway, so believing and not believing in ghosts when you're doing investigations. For me, I mean, I don't mind that you all believe in ghosts or your belief systems or your faiths. But as an investigator like myself, trying to explain using sciences or logic, unexplained phenomena, I don't put myself on. I don't lean on either side. I'm just right there in the middle. I want to know, is it science or is it mysticism? But I try an approach from the middle without a bias. I was like, oh, I believe they exist. When you get in there, every investigation you make, every detail you find, it'll be leading towards ghosts because you're already biased from the very start. So that's one reason when I do investigations, I tell researchers or segment producers, please talk to the case subjects and witnesses, and tell me just a little bit. What am I supposed to do there? Do I sit in this corner? But don't tell me the details of what I'm supposed to find, because I'll be biased, and I will just tell them, this is what I found, this is what I felt. And that's accounting to everything, like from the weather, from what I ate. So when I go to a location or investigation, I make sure I do not take anything that would influence my perception. So I also have a medical background, so pretty much I already know that. Of course, I'm not going to smoke anything. I'm not going to take medication that will make me sleepy, or allergy pills that would affect my perception, nothing like that. So I don't know what these guys were taking. It could be a prescription. It could be something, because you don't ask in investigations like these, the reporters don't ask their backgrounds, like medical background. Their investigations are just that up front, but they don't investigate behind what are the little triggers or factors involved that could result in this case, and they don't recreate it. They don't make an attempt, but that's what I do. I try to recreate everything.
This guard had been hearing strange sounds coming from a building, so he decided to investigate.
I think I like this one. I think I've
Okay,
seen this
I'm
one
back.
before, but I know I haven't
Door
seen
was
this
open
one.
again. Hello, security. Okay. I don't know how the hell they keep opening these. Hello.
As he inspected the area, he quickly realized he wasn't alone. Determined to document the situation, he turned on his camera and began recording.
Okay, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah. This is some spooky going on here.
Wow.
Nope.
I would check. Okay. First steps. TikTok, sexy Jerry. Okay, if that was you, Jerry. If I was an investigator doing this, I was called by a person, or the network asked me, is that the dog barking? Yes, there is a dog barking. Sorry, I can't take that out. So we have my landlord has a Doberman, beautiful guy, pedigreed too. It's very intelligent. Anyway, I think they can hear my voice because I talk really loud, and they asked for me to go down there. Oh, animals. They're good at detecting these things. So there was a time I suggested to the network, let's bring a Chihuahua. I have a Chihuahua back then. If a Chihuahua doesn't get scared, there's nothing there. But they told me not to do that. Okay, that's for another time. Let's talk about that another time. Anyway, so Jerry, if I were to investigate this, I don't want to see the tape. I don't want to see the recording. Maybe the first part of it, but then I'll tell. Sometimes the researchers would bring me material. Hey, sir, could you watch this and see if it's worth investigating? I'm like, please don't show everything to me because I'll be biased by the time I do investigations, and this show is about reality. So that was all the shows I did, from interviews from talk shows, like you sit on a couch, just like other talk shows, or I'd be on the side of a mountain, trying not to fall in the middle of a storm, with an entire crew with me. So those are the things we did. So I tell them, do not show me everything. Just give me a little premise and show me part of it. I would be seeing probably 10 seconds of this video with the first voice, and then don't show me anything. Get me there. So in this case, if I were there, I would try to simulate those sounds with someone hiding. And I would find locations where they can hide. There could be, those slabs in those areas. There are areas there where you can actually crawl in, and it's not sealed, because those are not dug out just when you need them. They're hollow already. So there could be someone playing a prank on him. At first, that would be my initial approach. And it's like, let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can make the same sound. I would investigate everything there. Are those all sealed? Because some of them are open and without anything inside them. And it could be a coworker playing a prank, or some homeless person, or someone, anything. But if we cannot simulate that, and I would tell the researchers, look up this location, look up this funeral, this mausoleum where they put the corpses. Look this place up. I want to know how many were available at that night, if there were areas, and how they prepare something for occupation. Let's just say, for an occupying person who is going to be put in there permanently for a few years. So that's why I like having researchers and second producers with me, because they can do all this legwork, so I can focus on the investigation. That's what I would do. What was the situation back then when this video was taken? I want to talk all of the staff from every shift before and after this one. Because if this one person experienced this, I want to know if the others do as well. So we're not just relying on this one testimony. I want to talk to everybody. I want to, without any bias, of course. Case subject interviews are one of my specialties. I like gaining trust and building a rapport and bringing out everything they can give me. I have been known to make people cry on multiple occasions, and sometimes that's, I've been told, can you bring out, I can bring out the emotions and make them cry, they tell me. Because that's good TV, right? I'm like, I'm going to talk to them the way I do, without the goal of making them cry. But if they cry, that's good. But if they don't, that's okay too, because I can't force these things. So building a rapport is one of the things. I'm being empathic about the other person. So, hey, I just applied I got an interview for a youth counselor, a residential counselor at a facility just 2 days ago. I hope I get the job, because I would love to do that again on a professional and medical level. Anyway, I would do that. I would interview all of these shifts from this mausoleum. And I would ask them, are you guys experiencing the same thing like this security is experiencing? I would like to explore every location, every little hole you can hide in, and do a historical check on the location. I want to know what was happening during the date when this video was taken. So those are the things I was really interested about if I were doing the investigation. But then going for those voices, I would try to simulate them. But if there's one thing though, it's 99% of the cases are not.
Okay, guys.
Are not real.
I'm really not sure what's going on here.
There's one thing.
Nope.
Okay, that voice, that is not ghostly for one. But I am in between here, like my approach really usually is, because.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Do you see? Spooky
do you see that?
I'm really not sure what's going on here.
Blinking. If the light switch, there's only one of them, was visible to this guy, and he took a video of it, and the lights are still acting out, and those are the only lights acting out, but the hallway isn't. Strong manifestations. If this was, and I'm not saying it's not, it could be, strong manifestations have an electromagnetic interference, and then we know electricity is also connected to electromagnetism. That's why my main tool for investigations is something everyone can have for a few bucks. A compass. You know those standard compasses? That's what I use. There's no compromise with the battery. If a strong manifestation happens, that compass still would turn. And it would turn wildly like it's a windmill. That's what I don't use those EMFs. I used to have them. It's like when the things were, everyone's using them. I'm gonna use it. I'm not. And then I started seeing the downside of it. The battery runs out, and sometimes when you turn it on, it makes a sound, makes people believe there's something there. So, let's use a compass. I bring it everywhere. And when I get lost, I have something. I'm kidding, but yes. But anyway, the lights are flickering. That's a good sign of a manifestation. Now, if the footage wasn't this clear and there was a big interference, I would be more convinced that this was a manifestation. But then if I can simulate this with actors, or I'll tell a researcher, go inside that little hidden hole and say the same things with the same tone as much as you can. And we did that. We had a case subject walk through the same place where she experienced this situation, where she saw images. What we did was, while I was doing the interview inside the house, I had my entire crew with another teammate who is a paranormal consultant, who's one of my mentors, outside trying to simulate what she thinks she saw with actors, with the crew. He asked a cameraman to wear something white and walk through the same path that she saw, where she saw this manifestation. You know what happened? Oh my God, we saw it. It's the same thing. Exactly what she saw. And we managed to simulate it. And you know what's another thing? The mother was a helicopter mom, where she was instructing her kid to be how to act and what to say, and behind the camera. So she wants her kid to be on TV. That's it. But it was a good episode. It was by the beach, so it's relaxing. Imagine being by the beach at 3 a.m. Anyway, continuing. This one I'm very curious about.
This is some spooky.
I want to know.
Going on here. Nope. This is why my security officer. Just so y'all can be witness here. I'm checking all this. I'm getting the hell out of here. This is my day off.
But after hearing a disturbingly loud
See those
scream,
lights?
fear took over, and he knew that this was not worth risking his safety. Just before 3:30 a.m. on August 11th, the Pueblo Police Department received a call from a funeral home and cemetery. When dispatchers tried to reach the caller, all
Funeral
they
home,
heard
cemeteries.
was static.
Okay. A little tidbit. A little unexplained phenomena, paranormal tidbit. Funeral homes don't really have ghosts. Very little. Cemeteries, yes. Because family visits them. And also, here's the thing. Religious locations where they were placed and where family was gathered. Where all the emotions, here comes atomic resonance again, where you imprint all your emotions in one location. You would feel a lot of psychic impressions there, or recorded information from people who are mourning or happy or sad or celebrating or just destroyed. The resonant information gets imprinted in the surrounding area, and it's like entering a room where 10 minutes earlier someone was a few people were arguing intensely, and then they all leave and you walk in there. That's psychic impression, and you feel it. The stress, the frustration, the anger, the hatred. You will feel all that. A lot of people have empath. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this. So when you enter a location, you feel uncomfortable with no reason. It could be the weather. Could be, just look at all those variables. If it's not those, it could be something else. Continuing.
Hello?
The abandoned call, coupled with the eerie silence at the scene, leaves officers puzzled. Was it a prank, or could there be something more to it? This guard's experience is anything but normal. Take a look.
That is strange. That's that phone call thing. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Hold on, give me a few seconds. Hold on, guys. I thought I was hearing something. Hold on. I may be hearing something. Of course I was hearing something. It was a TV. Anyways, like I said, this is raw footage. I'm not editing anything out of this. What you see is all me. Anyway, continuing. That phone call was just so short. It's like, it's come and gone, and we don't even know. There's this little background to it. But we have had phantom calls, but mostly coming from hospitals. There are a lot of abandoned hospitals that still have their lines installed. Most of them are landlines because they're all installations. And supposedly non-operational. So I was called one time to investigate something coming from an abandoned hospital, a morgue, and a phone call was coming from it. When I went there was nothing. I think it was a cross line. These things happen. In certain countries, or like you tap into someone else's line, those little 2 wires. And if you had those rotary dials before, or those, let's go technology like 10 years ahead, like buttons where you dial your phone number, no touch screens back then. You can have a cross line, and it happens. So sometimes you call somewhere, and then the McDonald's, you call something from the government, and McDonald's answers. So it has happened before. So it could be one of that phone call could be it. This one is absolutely strange.
As he patrols, an unseen force suddenly strikes him. It's clear he's not alone. Whatever is there seems determined to make its presence known. On July 8th, 2023, chilling body cam footage revealed an officer encountering paranormal activity while investigating.
Okay, let's pause that, because I was thinking, you saw my face just blank out, because I was thinking of other incidents which I have experienced that way. Manifestations, like I mentioned before, they have an electromagnetic enclosure. That's why EMFs affect them. That's why they affect electrical flow. That's why they affect batteries. Strong ones. I think these are multiversal incursions. Before the multiverse ever happened, you get in movies. I was already assessing this that way, because. Einstein-Rosen bridge, wormholes, theoretically they can do travel to another universe or a parallel dimension. But the thing is, entities, if we can't see them in our frequency and we can only see a little bit and hear a little bit, some of us are able to access those frequencies, and they could be coming from a little pocket or a little sliver of whatever universe that's overlapping ours. Is what I'm trying to say. So they have an electromagnetic field around them. That's how we detect them with a compass and EMFs. But if that is strong enough, and our bodies run on neural impulses, electrical impulses from the brain to control our nervous system and putting impulses in our muscles and activating it. So that's the basics of how our nervous system and how we activate muscles work. And if they can influence that, if they have control of electromagnetism, and if they have magnetism encasing them so that their energy doesn't disperse, and if crossing over from another dimension using the Einstein-Rosen bridge requires electromagnetic enclosement to retain the integrity, then they can influence the human body to move in a certain way or to react, you just saw that, in a certain way using those same things that make our nervous system trigger. So if they say, I hear this a lot, skeptics mostly, who lean towards there's no such ghosts. I lean in the middle. I just stand right there. I don't lean either way, by the way. They would say, I don't believe in ghosts. I'm more scared of real people. I would support that. That's true. That's why I trained a lot growing up. One of my latest ones is Krav Maga, so it's like street fighting. Because I go to locations that are dangerous, so I have to learn these things. I've been training since I was a kid. My father was a military guy. So was my grandfather. So we were all trained growing up. But I digress. Anyway, so those electromagnetic impulses can can affect ours and interfere with ours, and that could happen. I would like to see actual manifestation, like physical interaction, where he's being pulled in one direction, because that's an intense manifestation if it was real. But I would go there and just look for things, gather evidence. Mostly the footage, what he was on, how his body was he under medication? Of course, that's a HIPAA violation in some places. But if he was volunteering this, then that would be great. We're continuing.
Abandoned house.
I'm interested in this one, though.
422.
I'm at site 422. 422. This place definitely gives us.
So these are the kind of videos the studio shows me when they invite me to the editing rooms.
What began as a routine check quickly turned into a terrifying experience. The officer's body cam captured strange movements, and even a very clear shadow appeared in the windows. Then he heard some unexplainable sounds from a distance.
It does look like a shadow, doesn't it?
I keep seeing shadows walking by. What the f?
It remains unclear
That was
whether
pretty
the
evident.
officer left in fear or continued the investigation. A young security officer was working the night shift.
Okay.
at a
Okay.
hospital.
Hold on. Shoops. Hold on. Let's pause that. If that was a manifestation, the officer should have called it in. If it's abandoned, hey, there's something. There's a break-in. Someone's trespassing inside an abandoned home, and call the owner or notify the custodian because someone's in there. And I would have just asked for keys to investigate a probable break-in. And they didn't do that. So I would lean towards there was someone in there trying to make sure they can't be seen, but then made the mistake of having a light inside, because if it was abandoned, if no one was in there, why would there be a little light inside casting a shadow towards the window? There's some light in there for sure. It could be light from the outside, from the other windows, but they should be more careful. If you're trying to trespass, make sure no one sees you from the outside. Sloppy work. But anyway, continuing. I would have investigated that further.
In Chile, when things took a chilling turn. Assigned to watch over the building during renovations, he soon found that his biggest concern was not just human intruders. While on duty, he recorded strange and unexplainable events.
So don't get scared right away when these things happen. If it's under renovation, some things could be falling apart here, man. Okay, I would want to know where that piece came from. If there's a collapsing structure up there, I want to know if it's going to drop on me while I'm walking by and doing my rounds. So if this place is under renovation, and as you can see, the security is by himself, so it's probably evening. Construction crew is not there. What if someone just left that somewhere hanging on the pipes where he aimed things? A lot of what ifs here, but we all know temperature changes can really, at first and for all, influence metal contracting and expanding. So it's probably part of something. It looks like it's part of something. And the shift in temperature has caused this to dislodge, or it was placed by someone and forgotten and it fell. And he thought there was a ghost right away. Because that's what I say when you enter an investigation. Don't believe right away. Don't lean towards either side, and just feed on whatever facts or whatever reconstruction you can find. So that's my take on this. But let's watch further. It might convince me it might have more evidence. Was that someone? Yeah, that was someone.
Oh, concha tu madre. Concha tu madre, ¿no?
Yeah, that was a body there walking through.
¿Qué wea fue eso? ¿Qué esa wea, concha tu madre?
Okay, let's focus on that body walking by. Where was that? Let's go back.
Oh, concha tu madre.
That was before that.
Mejor
I think right
salir
there,
a la
right?
cama.
Okay, look at this. Shadow. There's a shadow. There's a reflection on the ground. If this was an actual manifestation, you will not see those. You will not, it will not exhibit a shadow. You'll just see it. You'll just see its features. You'll just see everything if it's a very solid corporeal manifestation. But it's also going to be translucent. So that means if this was real, you're going to see light pass through it a little bit. And this reflection on the ground right there where my mouse cursor is, it will not be there. It will just be something walking across the hall. So I would be careful if I were the security guy because there's an intruder in there. This is a person. This is not a manifestation. Like he said, this is under renovation. Anyone could have snuck in there. It's a big place. You can see all the entrances and exit areas where you can go in and out without any control. And there's one security guy. Come on. Yep. Manifestation is not.
Oh, concha tu madre. Concha tu madre, ¿no?
You know what? It could be a construction worker who fell asleep during the day. He got so tired.
¿Qué wea fue eso? ¿Qué esa wea, concha tu madre?
Was that someone?
Despite numerous investigations, no one has been able to explain these phenomena. What could be happening in that hospital?
Oh, come on. I would want to be
Officer
there.
Ben Malik
Hospitals
was
are
on
a good
patrol
place, actually.
when he unexpectedly spotted a strange figure on the left side.
Actually, hospitals, one of the best places to do investigations for paranormal unexplained phenomena, because a lot of deaths, even if okay, I'm also in the medical field, so a lot of deaths are violent. Dying is not what they say where, oh, they just close your eyes and slip into another dimension, and that's just your body. It's like giving birth, but to nothing, but your consciousness. It's like, try to stop yourself from breathing, see if that's comfortable. That's what happens when you're dying. I used to watch hospice patients, so yes, it gets to me. The transition, I used to help them transition. Hospitals have a lot of resonant imprint. And when I say resonant imprint, that's atomic resonance. Because our bodies are all made of electrons and atoms and then protons. And we're not solid. There are spaces in between all that. Even if you can touch it, like touch my phone, it's solid. But on a molecular or quantum level, there are spaces in between the supposedly solid object. So anyway, going through to the next one. Oh look, we're how many minutes in? We got a long way to go.
Of the road. She seemed to be starting a fire, prompting him to pull over and investigate. When he approached her, he noticed her face appeared to be burning. He wondered if she was performing some sort of ritual. Shortly after this strange encounter, Officer Malik
Yes, I need
arrested
my
the
coffee.
woman. But what really happened that
And
night
chocolate, so it's a
remains
mocha.
a mystery. It all began when police were called to a haunted house in Atlanta after Jennifer.
Let's ignore
captured
that
something
lady by the
frightening
road. That's
on her
obviously
security
someone.
Camera.
There's
While
nothing
her
unexplained
daughter
there.
Lauren was watching TV, she received a notification that her entryway camera had detected something. Attached was a video showing a translucent man resembling Jennifer's late son Robbie, who had died 2 years earlier. Disturbed, Jennifer and Lauren checked the kitchen but found no one there. This event left her in disbelief, wondering why Robbie's ghost was there. As an officer was returning home one night, they
Okay, let's
encountered
go back
something
to
eerie.
Robbie. Because this has happened. This is what I'm talking about earlier.
They encountered something eerie. A transparent figure can be seen crossing the road.
Okay, that's not it.
Eerie. Belief. Wondering why Robbie's...
Okay. Remember what I was talking about earlier about being translucent no matter how corporeal they look to you? This is what I meant. Look at this, where my cursor is. See that windowsill? See that little wood thing? It goes straight from left to right. If I were to investigate this just using this camera, I would say it's a psychic impression or resonant information. That has been... What was that? Oh, it's a reflection from my... I thought there was something in my room. I'm sorry. Odd. So, I lost track. So, like I said, there is a atomic resonant imprint on everything. So, Robbie, I'm sorry if something happened to you when you were very young, but hey, buddy. So, this guy, Robbie, this kid, Robbie, probably went through a lot during his teenage years before he passed away. I don't know the premise of how he passed away, but mostly it's probably suicide or took his own life or he's having problems. I don't know. I'm not going to declare that, but if he did, his best memories or his worst memories are either in this kitchen or around the house. But mostly, I guess, it's in the kitchen. So if he's just walking around, this could be a resonant imprint, or what people say, psychic impression, or a loop. And it only happens under certain conditions, like a certain date. I've had this happen in massacre cases, where the massacre event date is when activity rises. I'll get back to you on that. I'm not supposed to say stuff about it in particular because I was consulted in that investigation. It's a big case. So anyway, this is resonant. I could declare it's an imprint, unless the only way we can declare that it's not a resonant imprint or a psychic impression is if they interact with you right there and then. So unless they interact, it's just a loop. So you can see the counter. You can see some of these can go through. It's not solid. Look at this part. You can see part of the counter going through the hips. He's not solid. So I would say this manifestation is real, but it's also a different non-sentient manifestation, because I don't have proof that he is sentient at this point, or it is sentient at this point. But R.I.P. Robbie.
Ghost was there. As an officer was returning home one night, they encountered something eerie. A transparent figure can be seen crossing the road. Some think it might be the spirit of someone who died at that spot, while others wonder if it was just a strange reflection.
Sorry, I'm shifting in my chair. I've been sitting here for a while.
Was driving on a deserted road in the middle of the night when he encountered...
Come on. There's nothing much about that person crossing the road, but I have seen and I have been given, information about something happening like this, where someone is known to cross the road and the person saw this person and even captured on camera hitting that person. But then when they stop and look back, there's no one there. So if this is a dash cam camera, if anyone can authenticate if it's a real dash cam video from a police cruiser, then there's a manifestation that's looping. Because death is not comfortable. It leaves imprints in that location. That's why when I do investigation, I ask for clothes or personal effects that the person was wearing during the incident. So I have had bloodied shirts, broken eyeglasses. They have sent me things that are part of the evidence locker from the police station that have not been washed or cleaned since the murder or the criminal act. I would open up a package in my office because I refuse to meet the people and be affected by their emotions and might have a telepathic infection, and my investigation would be biased. I would tell them, send me personal effects I could touch or read the rest of the information from. Psychometry. You touch things, you absorb what you can find, but there's a state of mind that you have to be in so you're not biased. That goes to psychology. Techniques that you will learn. I don't know if I can teach you that here online, but maybe I can give you a rundown on it. Tell me in the comments if you want to learn how to focus on and do psychometry. I have my own methodology on that. All right. So that was a loop crossing the road. Thank you, Mr. Police Officer, for submitting that. Are they even allowed to do that? Submit information from an official cruiser camera?
Oh, God. No.
A pale figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere. How the officer handled this situation remains unknown.
Come
a small
on.
group was having a party at home.
That is so premature. You could have given us more information about that. There's nothing. That's obviously a person. It's just creepy. She could be. If that case was given to me. Good job, officer, for screaming in the middle of a shift. So if this case was given to me, look at this. Let's go back there. Let's analyze what we got, okay? See that? So if she was bleeding, she would have stabbed herself and there would be blood coming down her legs and her clothes. So that's what it is, right? That's why they blurred that. I wouldn't be yelling like that. I'd be going down there and probably apprehending this person so she stops the self-harm. But since there are cameras there, I can do what I need to. I don't just back out and stop and then and submit this as a ghost video. I wonder if he called backup under the protection of his vehicle, because she's still alive, buddy. You get more information from a live person than a dead one. So I hope they did something about this, because it does look like a mentally someone who was a little bit disturbed and so having some difficulties and needed some help. Or it could be a prank. It could be that. I mean, you know these things these days. It's just different. Anyway, if I were given this video on an investigation, if the researcher, segment producer contacted me and like, hey, Sir Eirik, I want you to see this video. Can we do an investigation? You're just going to waste your time. Find that person and do a witness interview instead and put it in the news. You don't need an unexplained phenomena consultant to do this, because this is a real person. It's not a ghost.
Oh, God.
Something we missed. Hold on. I didn't see that. Ta-da! So you're not just seeing her. You're seeing her. See where my cursor is? She is also reflected visibly on the hood. At first, I thought is that an emblem on the hood? I was like, it's not a Rolls Royce, so it's not a Jag or a BMW. It shouldn't have anything right there. But then when she moved, look at it. That is not a manifestation. That is a person. So it's either a prank or someone's committing self-harm high on something, and the blade might be smaller than it is, 3 inches, 2 inches. You won't die right away with that, because 4 inches is when you reach the internal organs. That's why there's a regulation you can't bring blades over 4 inches. I don't bring blades no matter how many inches. Maybe to cut my seatbelt, but that's about it. But that's very small. Anyway, there's a reflection right here. This is a real corporeal person. It's physical. Is obviously wearing makeup and wanting to make herself look scary. Well, she's lucky she wasn't tased. Come on. If you're going to do a prank, be safe.
Oh, God. No.
A pale figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere. How the officer handled this situation remains unknown. A small group was having a party at home when strange things began to happen.
I'm
prompting
curious.
them to
So
call
many
the
people here.
police.
Maintenant, je pense qu'on va rentrer tranquillement. What?
What was that? I thought I saw something.
Ouais, ouais, bien sûr. Bon. What? Il y a de l'ambiance chez vous, monsieur. Bah ouais. Ouais, ouais. Vous voulez venir avec nous ou quoi? Bah écoutez, non.
While the officers were investigating the house, something suddenly fell off a shelf. Despite the eerie occurrences, the cops found nothing and couldn't explain what was happening. The group felt no safer after their visit, leaving them unsettled and on edge.
Let's say, go back a little bit.
Security officer fell off a shelf.
Okay, this thing falling off here, it was already precarious from the beginning. It was already hanging halfway through. Come on, guys, it's that Nutella. Oh, my favorite. Anyway, so see, okay, let's consider everything. Let's see, I'm the police officer walking in there. I would see the stability of the structure, because when you walk somewhere, vibrations happen. It happens to me. I walk around my room, I would hear my plates vibrating. Or I would hear the mirror on my closet vibrating, because I have a sliding closet door and they're all mirrors. So I would hear that. So a vibration may have caused already this something they wouldn't, because these guys are kind of partying and having fun. There's so many of them. And they're wearing onesie, costumes, or pajamas, or so they may be under the influence. We don't know. It's a little party. Wine. It's France. Of course, there's wine. Anyway, so the vibrations of everyone walking around, everyone doing their activities, and someone would see something fall, or someone would see anything out of the ordinary, and they would definitely say it's a ghost or a manifestation, or they would get scared because they're biased already to that. The officer, so you see, he wasn't affected. If something fell, I'm a heavy guy with heavy boots. I'm walking by this thing and it fell right beside me. Okay, it was already hanging precariously. Could be the vibration from his movement, or opening or closing the door. Because this thing is not exactly, it's part of a drywall, I guess. You know how they are. They vibrate everywhere. I have picture frames fall because I'm walking around, and after a while they get loose and they would fall. But the amount of people here and the amount of heavy people here with heavy equipment, and that could influence a lot. But I would approach the investigation that way. I won't declare a manifestation or a poltergeist. I've had poltergeists before. There was a condominium somewhere in Southeast Asia where knives would stick to walls. I offered to sleep there. I told the neighbor, put me in there for one night. Put the camera with me, just by myself. I want to investigate this thing, and give me my compass and a flashlight. So in case lights turn off, I'm not bumping into things blind. But they say it was too dangerous. Insurance won't cover. If a knife flies through me, come on. Give me a vest, give me a helmet, give me full body protection. But they didn't want that. But there's a place like that. So I know those things, those are more real. A knife flying across the room, sticking to a wall. You only see them in movies, but it has happened in real life.
While the officers were investigating,
so this
the
is my
house,
my assessment on this.
Fell off a shelf.
See, it was already hanging halfway. If you see it,
nothing and couldn't explain.
It was hanging halfway.
The group felt no safer after their visit, leaving them unsettled and on edge. Security officer Tim was working his night shift when
Let
something
me check.
unsettling
Hold on.
happened.
Yep, we're still recording. Man, that's a solid knock. It's a person.
What the fuck? No way. No fucking way.
Come on, man. I want to see who's in there. I would have barged in, turned on the lights, checked if there was an intruder. That's the first thing I would do. I wouldn't be walking around and like, oh, there's a ghost, because that's what they want you to believe if that's an intruder. So you stay out of the room. Oh, look, there's a transition here. So if you're going to be a security officer, won't you have a camera? Why would you turn away and do a transition? This is absolutely solid. Why? Okay, guys, don't let the movies fool you. Real manifestations don't look like that. These are solid. This is a prank. This is a skit. Because if this was actually a real security officer who doesn't have any plans of uploading it to YouTube as a prank or just for clicks, I wouldn't turn my camera away from this. But he did. I would just go in there while I can see the feed. If I open the door, hey, I don't care who you are, what you're doing in there. I'm going to open this door. And if the door hits you, then that's your fault. I'm just telling you I'm opening the door right now. I wouldn't turn away for him just to, come on, there's a transition there, and that guy could have jumped out or left. Look how long he focuses on it before he turned away, and then he went back. And it's gone. It is gone. Could have done
Suddenly,
it differently.
He spotted a pair of pale feet peeking out from under a door. This shocking discovery shook him, but it was only the beginning. On another night, while Tim was doing his rounds, a chilling roar echoed through the hall, and a locked door swung open on its own.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what that was. It sounds like he needs a lozenge. And that's what I do. I'm sorry. I say that all the time when I'm at work. Like, everyone's so scared of everything. Everyone's scared of their own shadow. I would just calm them down with little snippets of funnies. That's the thing I do when I'm on set. When I do shoots on TV, even on talk shows. Because on talk shows they were like, can you tell us if there's something here? So that little Bigfoot growl, I mean, that's a huge place. You don't even know if there's a big Bluetooth speaker there coming from, or a vehicle, or a prank is being done on this guy, or this guy's part of it, just for clicks. Because like it says, that's not the first time it happened. There are other times it happened. That means this guy is getting a following on TikTok. Could be something, right? We don't know that. But also, I would lean towards someone being there and making fun of him, or he's part of this little skit. Because the first one was absolutely a skit. I swear. I'm sorry. No, I'm not apologizing. I'm sorry that some people are being fooled by it. But as a real life investigator who has done this for over a decade, and I'm still being called and asked for consultation at this point, but I already have another job. These things are hard to do, and they don't pay us good. So if it doesn't pay the bills, I'd rather do this YouTube video with you. This is just me going back to my investigative skills. It gets boring being an ordinary person, by the way, living an ordinary life. But anyway, this sounds like, literally, no pun intended, like someone hiding. There's so many spaces to hide here, and there's so much room for echo. This is a lot of acoustic influence. So I wouldn't even bring anyone here. I would just do it myself because nothing. I would just explore it and look every nook and cranny, look at everything where a person can hide. And this is a sound generated by something. That's not really paranormal. Oh, a door opening. Or a cabinet opening. I hope that closes in front of him.
Who's there?
That's recent. But the camera panned.
Driven by curiosity, he decided to investigate an abandoned warehouse.
Okay. Here we are. So basing on the videos, see this little thing, like a little padlock or a latch or whatever? It's still swinging. So something just opened it. And this is a package where you leave packages or dispose of packages. I don't know. It looks like a mailbox of some sort. But he did not pan left, did he? He did not pan here. He just directly went to this side without proving that there's no one on the left side. Or someone jumped over that side. So there's so many angles. I'm like, there's so many loopholes I can do here. Because if you were investigating something, you would try to recreate the thing in your head, or even if you can recreate the entire incident with the same equipment this person was using, in the same time of day, in the same conditions. Recreation needs to be almost the same, a controlled environment. So something is already there. We don't know what it is, and the sound came from somewhere. Another one. Those vocalizations are not paranormal, I swear. It could be a cryptid, but we're not talking about that right now. If this was a cryptid, it will be total chaos. It's not going to scare you by opening a mailbox or a package box.
Driven by curiosity, he decided to investigate an abandoned warehouse filled with forgotten items.
Wait, hold on.
Suddenly,
I'm sorry,
happened.
excuse me. This guy has channels to investigate ghostly phenomena. Ooh, sounds familiar. But anyway, so I have seen 2 of his experiences, both of them. I'm not saying he's faking it, but if it works for you, it works. And I'm not saying he's not genuine either. He might have good intentions for doing it, or maybe it's real for him. So we don't know that until I'm there to investigate. So let's not do judgment for now, because this is apparently his livelihood somehow. So if he does this for a living, and he is not doing the investigation thoroughly, he would pan his camera away and go back to the same scene. But then the thing is gone. I'm like, there's so many transitions that you can do. There can only so much you can do until you're doing it on purpose. It's obvious. So let's see what else he's got. I'm interested. I like his channel. Death of Despair.
Hello?
So everything you see here, guys, just look through and look for their channel. Dude, anyone can be hiding under those trash bags. I want you to go in there.
Shit.
I want you to go in there. Pull up the trash bag, please. I want you to go back in there and pull up the trash bag and show us in the camera without any transition.
Whoa.
Oh, come on. Pull up. So, okay. Loophole. He missed. A mannequin fell, but he did not check the base of the mannequin, what's behind it, what's around the mannequin, the trash bags. It just frustrates me. It's a great opportunity to do an investigation and gather proof without doing any editing. It's just one take. That's what I'm doing right now. From the very start of this, we've been on this for a while. It has been a straight. I even got up earlier and you guys saw it. If I was going to do an investigation, it will be also straight. I won't cut off. I won't do any editing. It's just a straight footage, one cut. One take. And that's the best for investigations. No editing. So I'm probably going to do that one of these days. Because I've gotten used to having a crew and researchers, segment producers, lighting, and audio, and camera. I'm too lazy to do it on my own. I do have a gimbal. I have bought equipment. I have my lights, and I have a lapel mic. But I haven't really done the investigations myself. It's the one take investigation. But I'm probably going to do it this time. Because they see it, we need more scientific approach and a more thorough approach on the investigative method, the proper way. So he didn't even look where the mannequin came from. I am disappointed. But anyway, Depths of Despair, YouTube, please go check on it. Check on his channel.
Hello?
That's obviously a person. Come on, man, stop. If you notice, this is the same place where the feet... This looks like a department store or a storage warehouse or, I don't know, a showroom. It looks like a dressing room. And these are displays where the mannequins are being stored. Obviously, they're making skits. Because I've been doing investigations actively for national TV for roughly 11 years, 2005 to 2014, and they still consult with me. My last guesting was on a radio show in 2020, 2021. So that's fairly recent. I have declined most of them because I have a job, a day job. So unless it's really interesting to me as well, and if the pay is good, that's always the problem. Hey, paranormal guy, you don't get paid much. Like, I'm sorry. Then if you can do the investigation yourself, then do it yourself. If you think my skill sets are not worth it, then find someone else. Well, anyway, these are skits. I think so.
Hey.
I would like to investigate this myself. Bring me there. Pay for my ticket. I would love to.
Later, he captured something more disturbing.
Is he floating? Don't pan your camera, buddy. Approach that thing directly. That's what I would do. Do not put that camera in the dark.
Hello?
Shine your light. I know you have a flashlight. Where did your flashlight go? Where did the flashlight go? Earlier he had a flashlight, now suddenly it disappeared. These are skits, obviously. See?
In the footage,
Come on, man. You had a flashlight on hand. You didn't even turn it on while you're seeing this. The thing around, I'm twirling my cursor around. Those hands look like what? Hot dogs? Tidbits. You know those little hot dogs you get like 2 inches long? That looks like hot dogs. I'm kidding. The mannequin must have fat fingers. So there's a snack called fat fingers. Anyway, we all know this is for scares, for jump scares or whatever, because you have a camera and you have a flashlight in your hand, but you did not even think about shining it at this and just opted to leave it in the dark.
Shadowy arms can be seen reaching from the darkness, a sight that ultimately drove him to quit his job. But why hadn't he shunned his flashlight earlier?
Yeah.
On his final night,
I agree with this guy. Hey, mystery man, you could be an investigator. Actually, a good question, right?
Encounter. In the corner of the room sat a woman, silently watching him, but suddenly the recording cut off. Who or what did Tim encounter that night? This video was captured by a CCTV.
Good jump scares. Okay, Tim, good jump scares. I hope you didn't quit your job because that would bring a lot of clicks. I hope you had fun making it. But as a professional investigator who's done this for 2 decades, I hope you gave that lady some snacks if you didn't give her a talent fee. At least.
Camera in the parking garage of a police station and shared by
I know about
Edinburgh
this.
Police's official channel. The clip starts with a security guard parking his car, locking it, and leaving the garage to begin his shift. However, things take a strange turn when this happens.
I know something about this. I've seen this video before. This isn't new. So apparently, he's having a problem with his starter. We don't know if he's had this problem a while now, but it looks like it's a starter because it's not kicking. It's not catching. I hope his battery didn't run out because it's gonna keep
Something
it moving
seems
forward.
to push the car forward, even though the keys are not in the ignition.
It could be a
This bizarre
short. Could be
occurrence is
a
hard to
mechanic would do
explain,
this. This is okay.
And it has led many officers to share their own.
So if I were called to investigate this by the network or by anyone, I would be like, "Hey, bring a mechanic here. I want to know about this model vehicle. What can happen? What controlled environment can we do where we can simulate this thing happening, but without tampering with the wiring? Something that could happen naturally. Have you had cases like this? I would ask the mechanic or the dealership. Have you had? Do you know this model vehicle? It looks like it's been modified. Look at the tires. It has been modified. So when you mod a vehicle, you would also fiddle with its wiring, and then probably add or mod things in the engine or anything like that. I'm not very good at that thing, so I stay in my field. So I would ask a mechanic or a dealership, someone who knows what they're talking about. They look at this model vehicle. Is there any way you can describe or you can simulate the situation without tampering with the wiring, or if there's an error? I would rely on that and not just pretend I'm an expert on everything. I'm not an expert in cars, but that looks like this looks like a manual, because this sounds like it. Because if you keep the manuals, when you keep starting and turning the key, and if it doesn't catch, or you just keep on twisting the key, it'll just do that continuously. And it might be on the first gear, or it could be, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about this one much because this is a mechanic's domain. I know a few of them. Maybe I'm going to ask them for you.
Eerie stories about being alone in the garage. Could this place be haunted? Now, watch these next.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we finished now. This is Mystery Man. I'm going to post a link on my description. And also, if you see those things on top where they have YouTube channels, like and subscribe. And like and subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to focus on more than just scary videos. I'm going to take on on cases that are not commonly explained. Maybe using my specific tools for paranormal or unexplained phenomena investigation. What tools do I bring? And what tools you should avoid? Maybe I'm going to make something like that. It's going to be a short video though, because I only have a compass. Because I don't have anything else. I have a collection of flashlights. I like collecting flashlights. I've given them away mostly. But thank you very much for your time. This is Eirik Cruz, your unexplained phenomena investigator, paranormal consultant on TV, and now on YouTube. Thank you very much. Till next time. Till our next investigation. Have fun, guys.